Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and today I'm bringing you episode 10, double digits in our little mini series Crocheting with Blanket Yarn. Now what do you do when you have the delightful dilemma of owning way too much blanket yarn? Well, you create a mini series of course, and that's what I've done, and I've brought you all along for the journey. And as I said, today's episode 10. Oh my goodness, how exciting, double digits. Now, some of you may have never worked with blanket yarn, and this little mini series might be giving you a few ideas of some of the items that you might want to crochet, or you might have thought, I am never, ever going to work with blanket yarn, and then you come along for this little journey and you think, never say never. Or you might just be thinking, well, I've got some in my stash, I'm clueless what to do with it because someone gifted it to me and I just can't let it go. But now I'm giving you some ideas that I've been crocheting up that I absolutely love because I adore blanket yarn. I cannot believe how versatile it is, and I'm applying it to as many projects as I can, and of course sharing them with you. Now, those of you that don't know what blanket yarn, let me show you one of my favorite colors. So I've got, oh my goodness, a whole heap of solid colors and a lot of variegated yarns as well, which I acquired via Millens at a very, very good price. Now, blanket yarn is a very bulky yarn and it is made with 100% polyester. Now, they do recommend that you use an 8mm hook with it generally, and I do, but I have been experimenting with other hook sizes as well, which I'll talk about today, which is the simplest way to change up the pattern that I'm going to talk to you about today, the project. So as we said, 100% polyester, which means it's machine washable. How awesome is that, guys, that you can pop whatever you make into the machine and know that you can take it out, hang it up to dry, and it'll be as good as new. Now, I have 9 other projects in my little playlist, Crochet with Blanket Yarn. Please go and have a look and see if any of those interest you as well. But what did we crochet up today? I will let you know just in a moment, but the best part of today's video, I think, is that I'm going to give you all the tips that I've acquired along this journey, which was from last night. So in about 2 hours and part of today, I've got so much to share with you about making booties or slippers. So nothing new, right? A lot of you may have already made them. Look at this one. This is giant size, right? This is my partner's one. And I've got 2 to show you, one for him and one for me for now, because it is very, very warm here at the moment, but I'm gearing myself up for winter. So as you can see, it's all single crochet. This is one of the most simplest patterns out there, guys, and it is by Diving Ducks Crochet. Awesome YouTube tutorial, only about 16 or 17 minutes long. It is called the Bootie Slippers Bernat Yarn How to Crochet Slippers for Beginners. Well, that's me, right? So this was the best pattern that I could find. Now, my partner likes his to be nice and tall because what he wants to do, and let me just fold it over, is fold it over like that. And that is the option that you actually get in the tutorial, whereas I prefer mine to look like that. So I don't want the folded over bit like the cuff. I prefer to have it sitting like this. But what else you could do, guys, is also just end here, just there. So you don't even have to go up on your ankle. And it'll be like, you know, like a grandpa slipper, which we all love as well. So to get this size and this size, so look at the size difference, guys. Look at, let me put it in front. Oh my goodness, right? You can see from the bottom. Very, very big difference. And all I did was change up my hook size. So most of us know that we can do that with our crochet, right? So basically for the one that I crocheted, I used a 7mm hook, exactly the same yarn, just different color. Of course, my favorite color being the purple. It is more of a wine color, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And then for my partner's one, exact same pattern, didn't change anything except for the hook size. I went up to an 8. And in the tutorial, they actually use a 6mm hook. So you'll get a slightly smaller one. So that would be more for like a younger child or even a teenager would have my foot size, I reckon. But the best thing is, guys, you can adjust it to your foot size so easily. So this part here, you can make it as long or as short as you like. So when you start off, you start off with a magic ring there, increase 3 times, and then you just crochet all the way up to the part where, you know, your foot meets your, your foot meets your leg, right up to there. And then you create your little heel, which is again very, very simple to do that way. And then you can make a cuff if you wish to, or the part that goes up your leg. You can have it as high up as you like or as low as you like. And as I said, even the one that looks like a little grandpa slipper. So that's the first most important thing for you guys to remember, that it doesn't matter about what size foot you're making it for. It is so easy to adjust just by changing your hook size. Number one, and the style always depends on you, because it depends where you stop crocheting, how big or how short, or what style of slipper you make. So I absolutely love this pattern, and I highly recommend it. If you've never ever made a slipper before, don't be like I was. I was a little bit hesitant, but I always wanted to make it, so much so that a year ago I inquired when I was at my local Spotlight, which is like a craft store for those of you that don't know it. That's here in Sydney, Australia. And I do believe it's Australia-wide, and also in New Zealand, the Spotlight stores. So I went up to T, who is one of the most beautiful humans on this earth, and I was talking to her about how I wanted to make slippers, and I really wanted to make them like slip-free, so they wouldn't be slippery, because I knew I'd want to make them out of like a soft yarn. I didn't know about blanket yarn then, because I was still very new at crocheting, but I knew that doesn't matter what yarn I use, I'd have to make them so that they wouldn't slip and slide on the floor. I thought very dangerous for a start when it's children, unless you're just going to wear them to bed like a sock, like a bed sock, but most of us don't do that. And I wanted it to be more versatile. So look at this, guys. Look at the sole of mine. Can you see that? Look at that up close. This is very, very flexible rubber. And when you put it on, I've already tested it, you don't slip and slide on the floor. And look, it actually sits like that. So it's stiff enough and yet flexible enough. How gorgeous is that? It feels a little bit rough to the touch. And this is the clear color that I got. But let me tell you what I'm using. It's genius. Now, a lot of people I know, and that's where my mind went to. That's why I went to the craft store. You can get like a rubbery type not glue, like a rubbery type, material that you can do spots, like rounds, and he makes it like dots, which I thought was the only option that was out there. But you will never believe where T sent me. So basically, she said that there is a product called Plasti Dip. Plasti dip, D-I-P, and it is a flexible, like it's in a spray, and it's called like a flexible sealant. So she directed me to our local Super Cheap, which is an auto shop. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to really trust the process here, because I trusted T. She's the one that actually taught me how to buy what I needed for crocheting when I first learned. So we had a long relationship at that stage. But I didn't actually make any slippers until, seriously, like last night. And I went today and I could not find what she directed me to buy, because they only had black or white and I wanted a clear one. But guess what, guys? I didn't give up. So let me tell you, this is what I purchased, and this is what you need. A flexible like it's a coating, right? And it's flexible. That's the main thing. And I got this in the plumbing department at my local Bunnings, which is a hardware store. So let me get my glasses so I can actually read that to you guys, because that's very, very important. And I've got some photos to show you as well. So it's a flexible rubber coating, and it's waterproofing. Now, I would never have ever thought of that, and if any of you have, you're genius. But I trusted T, as I said. You can hear it shaking in there, because she had experimented and she told me that's what she used. And let me tell you, the result is perfect. Look at that. Oh my God, I just can't get enough of it. It doesn't take long to dry at all. We did one coating, and it took about maybe, well, I didn't touch it for about an hour. But let me show you what I did, guys. So what you're going to need, other than your sealant, your flexible waterproofing sealant, I highly recommend you have some masking tape. Just the cheapy stuff. You don't want the stuff, that painters use, or that, you're marking out buildings and things like that, because it's going to be for a very, very short time that you use it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So at the bottom, I made sure that the bottom of my sole was that, because I put it on my foot, and as I took it off, I had a really good look. So basically it is the majority of the sole of your foot, but you don't want it to be overlapping anywhere. So I hope you can see this, because my bench top is black. So can you see how I've used the masking tape to mark it off? Exactly where I want the spray to go, the sealant. And underneath I've even put some plastic, because I don't want it touching anything other than the sole of the shoe, the slipper. So let me get on to the next photo now. So we made sure, very important guys, and I've got an extra tip for this now, because you live and learn. We made sure that we taped down some paper towel onto our bench top. Again, the masking tape came in very handy, because I didn't want to have, ruin my bench top. But after spraying, and I'll show you in a moment, we discovered that the best thing to do, and I found one in my collection, but even if you don't have a tablecloth, one of these disposable ones, which I would reuse, and even the ones that have got, the backing on it, that's a little bit fleecy, that would be excellent too. Or even just a garbage bag, a big garbage bag, just so that you can protect the surface that you're spraying on. Because let me show you this, guys. When you actually spray it, I'll see that there it is, ready to be sprayed. And then when you spray it, let me get the photo for you. It actually does go on the surface around it. So the best way to protect anything, because that's wet, and that actually went through the paper, of course it did, the plastic will actually protect whatever surface you put it on. Now here it was very, very hot today, 40 plus degrees, and we didn't want to do it outside because, and there was a tiny bit of a breeze, like a wind, so I didn't want it to be spraying everywhere but on the actual little sole of the slipper. So they're my little tips. Having a partner that's a builder helped, because his little mind was working just as quickly as mine. So remember that, guys, if you're going to do this project and you do want a rubber sole, so something that is flexible, something that isn't just little dots, that might work very well and good, but for me personally, I know that this won't peel off. I know that it's very uniform, and it's like, when you're walking, it's just beautiful. It's like almost having a little flat sole, like a thin sole at the base of your little bootie, and I highly, highly recommend it. The other thing that I wanted to say was this, that I discovered in my stash, because I made something the other day with it, and it was just sitting on my bench top, with my crochet. How awesome with this eyelash yarn, I think that's what it is. I won't put it on my partner's slipper, but imagine that on top of that, just to decorate it a little bit. How cool is that? Because I remember buying this for the putting it around a cardi, but this is actually so soft, this one. So this would be pretty awesome, this Las Vegas yarn here. But that was just a side note, and I've got it sitting there, and I thought I'd better mention that. So you can decorate your slippers any way you want. That's what I'm getting at, guys. So imagine you can even make little like love hearts or little flowers, and you can pop them on there, or you can use your variegated yarn. It doesn't actually really matter. It's a slipper after all. And I am so excited that my whole family is going to be getting these for winter. And you know what I'll know? That they're safe. They won't be slipping and sliding, because most of us have either floorboards or tiles, so it is just perfect. So that is project number 10, guys, crocheting with blanket yarn, and a few little tips of mine that I hope help you along your way if you want to take it further than just crocheting up the actual slipper. But I highly, highly, highly recommend Diving Ducks Crochet. This video, I'll write the name of it in the description box. Now, any of you, I'm sure most of you have already crocheted slippers. If you have any other tips for us, please share them in the comments down below. But let me tell you, what I've shared with you today won't lead you astray, and I'm quite confident that if you go along and do the same thing, you will be very pleasantly surprised and very pleased with the end result. So on that note, guys, I hope you're all doing very, very well, and until I see you very, very soon, take care, everyone. Bye bye for now.